President Trump doesn't want to change the rules for the next two debates. Tweeting this afternoon, why would I allow the debate commission to change the rules for the second and third debates when I easily won last time? NBC News correspondent Carol Lee is joining me now from Washington, D.C. Carol, one change everybody is wondering about, a kill switch for those mics. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany talked about that today. What did she have to say?
Well, essentially, she really was dismissive of the idea, and she sort of quipped about how the only change that might make a difference for those who couldn't win on their own is a change in the moderator. So let's take a listen to what she had to say.
With regard to the commission rule changes, the president made clear his view on that yesterday, that he thinks the only way there's a fair debate is change in the moderator and a change in the Democrat nominee. He wants to debate. He plans on being at the debate, but he wants the rules to be fair and wants a fair exchange and doesn't want rules that cover for a certain candidate's inability to perform well.
So again, the Trump campaign followed up with that, did a call with reporters where they essentially said they don't support any changes to the format. They attacked the process, saying that that's just something that people who think they didn't win would want to do, change up the format, but did say that the president plans to attend the next two debates. Obviously, the next one is in a little less than 2 weeks. That'll be a town hall format. And then the one at the end of October that's hosted by NBC's own Kristen Welker. The president says he will show up, or the president's team says he will show up and that he's looking forward to those. But staunchly against any sort of changes in the process there.
All right, Carol, let's talk about campaign finances. In September alone, Joe Biden outspent the president on radio and TV ads nearly 3-to-1. His campaign pulled in some $30 million since the debate. We know the president has a fundraiser today at his golf club in New Jersey. What's the latest from the Trump campaign on fundraising numbers?
Yeah, we haven't seen their number yet. They just closed a fundraising session for the past month. Look, it's not just that they're losing in terms of the spending game, they're losing in the fundraising game. And that's a real problem and a really highly unusual dynamic for an incumbent, particularly an incumbent who was so well funded really for most of his presidency. And I know from talking to people who are close to the president, who are supporters of his, there's a real question mark about what happened to all of that money and how they got in this situation just weeks away from the November election. The Biden campaign, however, seems to be very proud of all the fundraising that they're doing, and they're putting their numbers out there. And one of the things that is usually pretty true in politics is that if you're not bragging about it, then maybe you don't have something necessarily to really brag about.
Yeah, well, now that it's October 1, we'll see how this last month goes before the election. Carol, the president tweeting out a statement today. It had a list of endorsements from former national security and senior officials. What case are they making here for the president?
Well, they're essentially arguing that the president's approach to foreign policy is based on realism, that he's been strong on some key issues. They point to China, North Korea, Iran, NATO. They point out that the president's been really forceful in forcing NATO allies to spend the percentage on their defense of their GDPs on defense budget that they all agreed they would do in 2014. They generally like the way that he's approached to trade, pointing to the U.S.-Mexico trade agreement, the president renegotiating that. But mainly it's just that the president, in their view, has a very forceful approach to the world stage. And, interestingly, Allison, they also cited Russia, which the president has come under a lot of criticism about his approach to Russia. And these folks who endorsed him are saying that he is actually, if you look at the policy, he is pretty strong in that area as well.
All right, Carol Lee, with the latest from the White House and the Trump campaign. Thanks very much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.